Welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we're diving straight into the deep end of human psychology. We're looking at what actually separates average, everyday brain activity from something, well, truly unique. You know that feeling? Like you're slightly out of sync with how everyone else operates? Like you're observing the world through a completely different lens than your peers? Well, stick around, because by the end of this explainer, you might just have a scientific reason why.
It sounds like a pretty simple question, right? Are you just like ordinary people? Most of us would probably just shrug, nod, and say, yeah, sure. But here's a wild psychological paradox for you. The folks who actually possess a genuinely rare mind, they usually have absolutely no idea, literally no clue that their brain is broadcasting on a totally different frequency. They just kind of assume everyone else processes the world exactly like they do, feeling the exact same depths, analyzing the exact same tiny details. So we're going to flip the script a bit today and challenge your own self-perception to see if you actually fall into this super unique category.
To figure this out, we're going to walk through 6 highly specific psychological signs. And hey, don't worry, you don't need to check every single box to qualify here. If you can honestly identify with just 3 or maybe 4 of these upcoming signs, the psychological probability strongly suggests your mind is an outlier. You're functioning on a level most people, honestly, just don't experience. So keep a little mental tally as we go, and let's see where you land.
Okay, moving into our first group of traits, loneliness and deep thinking. You know, society loves to tell us that wanting to be alone is some sort of flaw, right? Like it's a negative trait you've got to fix. But for a rare mind, isolation isn't antisocial at all. It's actually the literal birthplace of high-level cognitive function. Think about it. Do you ever notice how being in a massive crowd or just spending hours surrounded by people leaves you feeling completely and utterly mentally exhausted? Like your internal battery is just flashing red at 0%. But the second you get home and you're finally alone, boom! Your mind wakes up. You prefer solitude not because you're scared of people, but because silence is the exact environment where your brain hits top gear. It's where you're finally free to generate your absolute best, most innovative ideas.
The reason for that sudden burst of mental energy when you're alone really comes down to how you process information. The average person operates mostly on surface-level thinking. They see the tip of the iceberg, go, yep, that's an iceberg, and move on with their day. But a rare mind? You don't have that luxury. You instinctively engage in deep-level processing. You're automatically looking at that massive hidden structure beneath the freezing water. Everything gets analyzed, turned over, and examined from a dozen different angles. And let's be real, that takes an immense amount of cognitive energy.
See, most people stop at the what. They find a basic answer, they accept it, and they are totally satisfied. But if you have a rare mind, finding the what is literally just the starting line. Your brain compulsively digs into the why. You are relentlessly trying to figure out the core motivations behind things. And then, you immediately pivot to figuring out the how. Now, I'll be honest, this habit can be incredibly exhausting. You probably end up overthinking things that other people just brush off without a second thought, spinning your wheels on details they don't even notice. But this relentless, unstoppable need to look beneath the surface, that is exactly what separates your intellect from the average crowd.
Right, let's jump to the second sign, selective, not lazy.
Because your brain is always running on this deep, analytical logic, your behavior doesn't always look, well, normal to the outside world. In fact, people might literally call you lazy. Or, hey, maybe you've even labeled yourself as a chronic procrastinator because you don't instantly jump into every single task the second it's handed to you. But the truth is entirely different. You are not lazy. You are just highly selective. Before you burn through your energy, your deep thinking brain is calculating, wait, is this actually worth doing? Does this even make logical sense? Your hesitation isn't a lack of drive, not at all. It's a calculated, deliberate refusal to waste your precious time and energy on things that are simply pointless.
Moving along to sign number 3, understanding people and the world.
When you process literally everything this deeply and selectively, your intuition about human society becomes razor sharp. You possess this almost uncanny ability to just read people. You can walk into a room, have a 2-minute conversation, and instantly feel who is being genuine and who is just hiding behind a carefully crafted social mask. Because your brain is always hunting for the why and how behind people's behavior, you see right through those fake personas. And because of that, you don't just connect with anyone. You intentionally keep your distance and you fiercely protect your inner circle. You really only allow truly authentic people to get close to you. And this fiercely independent streak, it completely dictates what you care about. You just aren't captivated by what the mainstream loves.
While everyone else is busy chasing the latest viral trend or doing whatever is popular just to get some quick social validation, you're quietly charting your own path. You don't follow trends, you follow your curiosity. If some obscure, super niche topic fascinates you, you will happily dive all the way down that rabbit hole, and you really don't care if anyone else finds it interesting. Your internal compass is driven entirely by genuine, intrinsic intrigue.
And that brings us to the final trait: true power and emotional control.
According to the psychological sources we've been explaining today, this final trait is absolutely the most formidable weapon in your mental arsenal. See, average minds are almost entirely reactive. When a super stressful or dramatic situation pops up, they panic, they yell, they just act on raw, unfiltered emotion. But not you. When things suddenly go sideways, you automatically run this highly disciplined two-step process. First, you observe. You detach yourself from all that rising emotion, and you analyze the board like a chess master, taking in every single variable. Second, only then do you respond. Resisting that basic human urge to just react immediately, that prevents massive emotional mistakes. It's the absolute bedrock of true mental strength.
Okay, let's put this whole puzzle together. Look at the traits we've outlined in this explainer. Do you thrive when you're alone rather than in a crowded room? Do you obsessively dig into the why and the how? Are you highly selective with your energy rather than just lazy? Can you instantly spot a fake person? Do you follow your curiosity over fleeting trends? And finally, do you pause to observe before you respond? Take a really quick mental tally right now. Remember, you only needed to hit that psychological baseline of 3 or 4 of these to realize, yeah, your mind actually works a lot differently than most.
So, moment of truth. How many signs did you notice in yourself? If you hit that threshold of 3, 4, or hey, maybe even all 6, it is officially time to stop wondering why you always feel slightly disconnected from the crowd. You aren't falling behind, you are simply operating on a completely different level. The real question you've got to ask yourself now is, knowing your mind is hardwired for this kind of exceptional depth, careful observation, and relentless curiosity, what are you going to build with it? Embrace the unique power of your rare mind. Thanks for hanging out with us, and we will see you in the next explainer.